left, our red, Terran. And Team Liquid, this is Clem. And he takes on the blue Protoss in the bottom right corner of the map. Make some noise for MaxPax. Game 1 of the series, best of 5. Again, a rematch from our round of WardiTV Festival, round of 12 the other day. Clem went on to win that event after squeezing through MaxPax in that round of 12. MaxPax was absolutely the biggest competition that Clem faced in that tournament. In the playoffs, at least, in the group stages, he did not have a super easy time either. As our probe just going to be heading towards the upper left-hand side on a bit of a journey. We're finishing up, barracks on the way. So we got this ready to go. Lots of people asking why Clem and MaxPax are playing again, or asking wasn't the finals played yesterday. This is a different tournament, guys. Yesterday the WardiTV Festival wrapped up. That was a $3,000 event. This is our weekly Monday Cup. $400 on the line today, and only today. So yeah, this is, like I say, lots on the line today, but it is a different event, the one we had over the weekend. And we'll have a different event starting tomorrow. Clem and MaxPax will be part of that as well, the big Leo Lee Cup. I'm not sure how I meant to say that one properly, but yeah, we'll be covering that for the next few days as well. So it's going to be fun, man. Looking forward to the next few days of games. I actually think we're going to be in for a really good time, so super looking forward to that. I think it should be great. Excited to see how it all turns out. As we just have our Proby coming over here. Nexus on the way up on the natural. Of course, this is just our first game of this grand final. Waiting to see where we're going to take things as the factory comes online. A couple of Marines are continuing through. Finally back, and you see MaxPax versus Clem. Hell yeah. We've had, honestly, the last couple of weeks in the stream has been really good in terms of just quality of games as well. I feel like a lot of the players have been banging out some absolute fantastic series, so been very fun to watch. As we have the starport coming down, getting that settled into place. I see the Adept is going to move through. It's going to be heading through the natural expansion. The Dark Shrine building in the main base of MaxPax. So he's going to get that Dark Shrine on the way, get that started up. Bring that straight through. Again, Adept continue to move around. We got the Dark Shrine coming online. The ability for MaxPax to go and drop about a little bit and put some pressure on. Clem is going to have a Cyclone hunting an Adept here. That Adept is not the one shading, but he lost the lock on. 3 locks now, will still get the kill. It's going to be able to grab that. So one Adept down for MaxPax. We have the Dark Shrine coming up. I'm loving the Wardy Storm mode with the with the shades on. I don't know why. I don't know if I've ever seen that. It's wild. Wild and funny. Alright, let's see the Cyclone going for another Adept. Not quite going to be able to come through on that one. As we you have Robe of Facility up in the natural, of course. Dark Shrine about to be done, so imagining that Dark Shrine is going to tell us a lot more about where this game goes. Is Stalker's going to start going down. Spit Battery gets targeted. Oh my god, Clem's doing the Clem thing. He's clicking the battery. Well, this is the issue now. You're going to have to bring DTs in defensively, but are we in a state to deal with that as Clem? If Clem has a scan on this side of the map, it's already going to start looking very good for him. Yes, he loses a Cyclone, but not a lot else going on. The DT sits behind on the ramp, actually. Probes are going to pull in through a choke. 13 workers already killed. You probably realizing that this is going to need to be a lot of damage from MaxPax to deal with this. Clem's not dropping a scan over here. I think he's going to prioritize his scans defensively. He's working his way through the prism. Yeah, he's just going to let these units go for as many probes as they can. 29 workers already killed, obviously speaks for itself. That is a ton of damage. The prism gets away on 1 HP, though. And Clem is struggling because he's going to need to take a little while before he... that Tech Lab's out of range of the scan as well, so that's going to get killed. He wants to get to a Raven, I'd imagine, but getting to a Raven ain't going to be easy here. As those couple Marines get back to work, a couple of probes still taking damage. DT comes in, swipes away one more time. And even just this one probe going to get... one Marine going to get one more probe. It's damage across the board, but MaxPax, I think, just took way too much damage, as he does have the DT still active. But as soon as Clem gets this Raven, the DTs are really no longer a threat. And from there, Clem can very easily, I think, take advantage of this game in general, get back to that natural. He's obviously up a lot of workers with double mule available soon as well. As that DT just going to get to it. A couple of Marines coming about. And DT still swiping up on the depot. Finish that off, as there is the Raven, so detection is available now, and I can't imagine MaxPax is going to have a good time if Clem goes across that map. Obviously Prism at least regenerated shields, so it'll be a little bit healthier here now than it was originally intending to be. As Clem going to find an Archon in the middle, but the Prism should be able to evacuate that. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Prism pulling away. And that one Archon is going to have to put some serious work in the edge. The Raven at home. I guess the Raven at home, with the idea being he will just bring scans onto this side of the map if needed. Archon low, but gets out of range of the Liberator. Archon still taking damage off the Marine. Siege tank goes down. This was not a lot of units from Clem, and MaxPax will defend against it, as Clem just didn't have reinforcements there yet, so... yeah, good micro as well, keeps the Archon alive. Grab a Zealot there, tries to get the Prism. Archon very narrowly goes down. Drop the Order Turret 2 off the Raven. Really trying to bust through some units on that one. That does not work. Prism sieging up again, Stim still coming through. Extra Zealots and the Nexus and the probes coming about. Just having our Raven moving around, our Marine's still chilling. The bunker's about to finish up as the units are going to press forward here. 3 Marines jumping into that bunker. I'm just going to be seeing the Zealots continue to get cleaned up. Good tank shots as well, and the Stalker's going to clean those out as well. As the Archon's going to try and drop toward the main base. The Viking lands. I'm going to say Viking might want to be in the sky and try and help shoot the Prism down. The Prism is unable to save the Archons now. We do kill the Raven though, and no, I forgot, the Prism got away. Like I said, Clem can only blame himself for that, for landing the Viking. It's obviously completely unnecessary. Probably about to finish. Blink coming up to being about halfway done. After all is said and done, I think MaxPax still just a little bit too far behind. Yeah, it became more interesting than I thought. Obviously, the initial damage field come was going to do enough in a great spot. And then it kind of felt as though maybe actually MaxPax would, stay in a bit longer with the DTs. Then I thought MaxPax was definitely going to die in the previous attack, but he finds that cleanup. Like I say, none of it good enough to fully bring him back into this game. He's still in trouble here. He is still hurting. And Clem is still pushing to the other side of the map, looking to play cleanup. Looking to grab himself game 1 of this grand finals. Tank's going to get into a good position. Not going to go overly aggressive. The Colossus is going to be on the way up in this natural. There ain't a lot of support for it. It's also going to be separated from the supporting units for the most part. We start to warp in on the natural instead, as the Prism can of course evacuate the Colossus though and make sure it will stay alive for a few more shots, and that's why Clem is being cautious rather than just diving in without really thinking any further. Good little DT. Sneak onto those 2 siege tanks as well, but it's not really going to be enough. Pylon going down, the couple of Zealots still being killed. We have ourselves the rest of the Stalkers coming through. The sentry gets picked off. GG says MaxPax, and Clem will open the scoring in today's grand finals. Clem the first to put a point on the board and loading the screen for game number 2. Goes phase 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for the 43-month resub on the Prime. As in the bottom right is going to be our Red Protoss player down a game. It is MaxPax. Top left, our Blue Terran from Team Liquid. We have Clem. Game 2 of our series. We follow a probe out onto the map from MaxPax initially, see where that's going to go and what it's going to get up to. Probe's moving up, gateway on the way. I'm going to go seeing that probe nibbling at the SCVs. Cybercore starting out of MaxPax. Some nibbling being done as you just have command center being placed down. It's just going to bring that straight through. DC coming up, Marine on the way. Obviously the Reaper out of the map. I'm just check nearby for proxies. MaxPax is a tricky player. He will sometimes play those proxies and some different things. Adept continuing to come through. The wall gate coming up. Nexus is going to be finishing in just a few moments on the natural. Twilight Council building up as well. Twilight Council on the way through from MaxPax. Again, the Nexus is about to finish. The Adept coming online. Team Marines and the Reaper are going to be there to push the Adept away also. He's going to shove that back. Alien coming through on the side of Clem. Orbital Command building up as well. We'll drop a little gateway in the front here. Twilight Council finishing. Getting that blink just on the way through from MaxPax also. So just bringing that all the way in for the moment. That Reaper continues through, and we are going to see the Reaper really love to get rid of that probe. Grenade goes down, going to keep the other probes away. Second probe going down, actually, though, right? Oh, sorry, that first one didn't die. He's going to see the Reaper going down, though. So Clem's going to lose that. He's busy across the map. He's got Adepts in his main base. The Marines, the Hellion, SCVs combining to try and chase this down and push this back without issue. But for the moment, it's definitely causing some issue. It's going to be just 2 SCVs in the end. No shade away. In the end, not bad for Clem. Obviously, could have been way worse. Could have been way, way, way worse. But not meant to be. Still got that blink coming by. The Cyclone, the Marines, the Medevac coming up. Barracks on the way in as well from Clem. Just getting a lot of little things set up to play. Stalker pulling back down the bottom right. Two gates, a robo facility coming online. The Prism starts up. Still got that blink coming by as we have the Medevac coming down to the bottom. And the Hellion and the Cyclone figuring out what they would like to do. Drop into this main base, gonna go straight into that mineral line. Cyclone gonna get taken down. The Hellion also trying to fight there. A few Marines. No, wouldn't mind continuing going after the probes. 3 workers being killed. Again, the Raven coming up on the side of Clem. The Siege Tank and the Marines coming by also. All of that coming up with the pylon, the couple of probes, and the Observer now coming out as we speak. Stalker's getting to the natural. I'm going to get rid of a SCV there. Most of these Marines are going to come fight through. The Raven's still taking a couple of shots, but for the most part, Clem is going to be able to keep everything alive. MaxPax having to try and micro back into efficiency, as with 4 Stalkers warping in at a time. He obviously wants to apply some big pressure here. He wants to get some damage done. Clem preemptively pulls the SCVs onto this bunker. There's enough SCVs to repair, but obviously MaxPax knows that he will still be able to, get some SCV and mule kills here. So getting some value as the auto turret is going to be coming up. Oh, that's massive, though. 2 gateways get depowered. New pylon building gets cancelled as well, so actually that's 2 gates depowered for quite a while. We're going to miss some production here as MaxPax. It's going to reduce that Stalker count by a couple, and that's actually fairly impactful. The sort of thing which you don't necessarily expect to happen, right? I mean, now cutting down on production. We'll miss some warpins. Actually, supply blocked as well. So really, we're going to miss a bunch. Look at all the money that's not spent from MaxPax here as he dives into the main base. That tank is going to survive a lot of shots, so the Stalkers could not get in reach easily. They take a lot of damage. Going to get rid of the Observer here. Obviously, should be able to blink out in a moment. MaxPax tries to turn around for the Raven, but Clem pulled it back as well, knowing that that was going to be the target. Very well handled. Again, Clem has so much practice against this attack of MaxPax. I think MaxPax, in a way, actually nerfed a lot of other Protoss players because he got players like Clem to be so good against the 4-gate blink defense. Because he's so good at executing it, you've got to be so good to be competitive with MaxPax against it. I feel like a lot of other Protoss players, it's just almost impossible for them to find damage nowadays because MaxPax is so good micro-wise. As the control here is extremely good again. Look at all these low HP Stalkers. We try and blink in for the bunker. We'll get it. Viking and Clem quite important because it's putting damage on the prism, so I love that MaxPax takes the moment to blink over and to target fire that Viking down instead. Feels like a massive victory as a few Stalkers will unload, a few more of them warping in. Stalkers pushing forward, Marine Marauder still taking some shots, other Stalkers going to blink up as well. MaxPax has a 3rd base, starting to build up into charge again. His follow-up going. There's a couple of Stalkers though. The Marauder's starting to hit true. Finally some mistakes on the micro. As MaxPax now sits up 7 workers in total. Obviously tacking up as well. He's going to be behind on the upgrade. The +1 from Clem will be a little bit sooner. As the Prism tries to come back in. A few of those Stalkers unload there. Probes coming about, Roboway coming through, extra gateways coming around as well. MaxPax still looking for opportunities. The 4 Stalkers in the Prism, always one of the most frustrating things as a Terran player because you are, going to have one SCVs being one shot, and yet it feels like such a low investment from the pros. They can almost always get away without taking damage. Your SCVs went down there. Clem unloads on the 4th base of MaxPax. Units are nearby. Then Clem can commit to this. Just right-click it down. Forces the cancel. So that is good. Nearly loses a half-full medevac in return as he flies into those Stalkers. So now these medevacs will have to sit in the corner for a little bit. No Stargate in play, though, so no way for MaxPax to come through and to punish that. They will just get to sit there. They will get away with that for now. Ones that are just coming up again. Cannon, battery coming through. Nexus on the way in as well. Continue to bring all of this about here currently as we do see a few more warpins coming through also. CC just flies across over in this direction now, then over to the top and try and get set up. Comes in, a couple of Zealots will unload, a little bit of Bio, going to try and fight back immediately. Fire up some shots, push some damage away. Alright, trying to come back over, actually taking some hits as well. So damage being done across the board once again as we try to drop. Drop's getting cleaned up a little bit. The back and forth continues. It's going to be seeing 3 SCVs going down currently. Stalker still coming through. Extended Thermal Lens, +2 attack, all continuing up right now. Let's continue to bring that into play as we do have ourselves the Ghost Academy building up from Clem as well. So again, that Ghost Academy up and online, knowing that that is going to be likely a reasonably big part of these next few moments. The Ghosts are going to be huge. When aren't the Ghosts a big deal in the world of TvP? It's be a pretty rare occurrence that Ghosts are not impactful, right? As the bio steps up, a couple of units going down, a little bit of a cleanup being made for the moment there. Zealots will also be moving about. The Stalker Colossus gonna start stepping up. The bio gonna be there though, turning stuff around again. Just gonna be there, so I'll get chased back. The Widowmine's gathering up. The tanks are gonna move forward as well. Again, pretty decent commitment coming through as this Bioforce continues forwards. The siege tanks will be sieging. And Clem bullying his way through to the other side of the map for the moment. Again, the Dark Shrine coming up, the Robo Facility, and a couple of additional gateways all coming online. Widowmine shot is good in the center. Stalker's going down to that already. It's going to be seeing the bio coming across the right-hand side. A couple of Zealots taking shots. I mean, again, trying to pull your way up this ramp is not going to do much for you. It's one of the best positions to defend on the map. And it does go with a siege tank very nicely defensively, as we saw right there. 4th base trying to come up from Clem, obviously not having that ready yet. That is where MaxPax leads the game. 5th base already finished building, so MaxPax having that base count advantage. Base count advantage may be somewhat necessary. Resource lost at the moment is even MaxPax favored, but Clem's current army supply is a little bit larger, so potentially he takes a little bit of a better fight. That might be where we need to go into some other bits and pieces. Couple Zealots coming through. Just going to be seeing the siege tank getting grabbed. Let's see our Bioforce coming back through. Zealot getting turned around as well. Just going to be having the +3 and the +1 coming over. And Zealots, Disruptor, all coming through. Colossus setting up. A couple Widowmine shots going to be firing. Vikings would love to get onto those Colossus. The Disruptor shot lands short, as we now have the 2-2 coming back around. Back across there. 17 SCVs going down. Nice counterattack from MaxPax. There's a ton of workers dying from Clem. That's some pretty critical damage being done, so that goes a long way. Clean up the final couple of Zealots here. 19 SCVs killed. A little load up in the bottom left-hand side from what I can see on the mini-map going on as well. Medivac trying to loop over through the center. Stalker's gonna get rid of a bunch of them! And Clem's is gonna GG. He says, I'm about to lose 40 supply. I don't win games from there. MaxPax is going to tie the series 1-1. It makes him just kind of be able to do what he does, which is, you know, sometimes we call it kind of like feigning the aggression of like, hey, look how strong I am. Be afraid of me. Like, my army's really good. But the thing is, being confident and comfortable stepping forward in those scenarios is such a big deal. Because if you can step forward in those situations and be like, hey, you know, you've got to think about the threat of this army, it takes away so much of what the Terran player can do. Because the Terran player loves to play on the map, right? So if you can step forward even when maybe you're not meant to, and have that influence the game, it really can be a big deal. In the top left is going to be our red Protoss MaxPax, tied 1-1 with the blue Terran. In the bottom left-hand side, it is going to be Clem. What's up, Valinoriano? Appreciate the 23-month resub. Hello. How you doing? Thank you so much for the resub, mates. I appreciate it. I'm just going to take a quick moment to sell out here at the start of this one. Hey, this is probably going to be up on YouTube, and if you're watching this as a YouTube VOD, I would love to recommend to you guys to subscribe to the channel. We don't mention it too much, but it really does help out the channel a lot if you hit that sub button, so do consider doing that on the YouTube channel if you're watching that here in the future. I also want to take a quick mention to the Patreon page. If you're enjoying the StarCraft and you want to support more of these tournaments, any contribution on the Patreon page, 100% of it goes into WardiTV tournament prize pools. You can find out more at patreon.com/WardiTV, but it's a great way to guarantee that any support you give will be going directly into prize pools. If you donate $50 on Patreon, $50 will go into a tournament prize pool. If you donate $3 will go into a tournament prize pool. It's as simple as that. We even cover the transaction fees. So do check out the Patreon. And the final thing I'll mention is that it is the final day of September here on Twitch. So if you want to get your multi-month subs for cheap, check that out right now. And also it's your final day to get the offer of gifting 5 subscriptions and getting extra free subs from Twitch as well. If you give 5, Twitch will add 1 or more for free. So if you're feeling generous, if you're feeling like you're loving the StarCraft and you want to give a bit of love to the stream, it's your final day to take advantage of that offer. So do that while you can. See if you hit the Twitch jackpot and trigger the double up of subs. I think we've seen the double up once over the last few days, so yeah. Check that out, guys. And like I say, appreciate you listening through the sellout for a little bit. Fortunately, in this day and age, I'm obliged to sell out a little bit more than we used to, simply for the fact that we just need to make as many StarCraft 2 tournaments happen as we can. And obviously, a lot of what we do is funded through your guys' support. It's going to be having our Game 3 then he is setting up fairly comfortably early on. It's a Stargate from MaxPax, which means that A, not likely much going to happen early from him, but also that he's going to be playing into likely Phoenix Colossus. He could also play Phoenix Charge. Any which way, he's going to have Phoenix, and he's going to be looking to be very comfortable defensively and a little bit less active offensively. As we still lose 2 probes to the Reaper, it's quite nice. On the other side of the map, we are active and poking about with the Adepts. They will deny the SCV on the command center for a moment and delay that CC from coming up a little bit. Adept is going to go down, so just going to get that kill. And that is going to be Clem at least clearing out one of the Adepts here. Should be able to finish up his natural without much further issue. Medevac and Marine still coming up. The Phoenix on the way from MaxPax. Warp Gate about to finish. Gateway and a couple more probes coming up into production as well. So all of that continues to come through. As we just have the Medevac flying back into this natural expansion. Going to be a pylon straight away here. They'll be in some trouble. Probes are going to pull into this. Uh-oh, Widowmines. Retargeting. Always love the retarget. And yeah, going to go off on the Phoenix. The Phoenix trying to drag through for splash damage, but I'd say this was not too bad for Clem, who's going to evacuate with everything, Widowmine included. You get to bring the Widowmine home. Beautiful. Gotta love that, right? So the Widowmine gets to come home with us. A couple more Marines, Siege Tank, and Vikings still coming up as well. There's our Cyclone just going to be firing up. That pylon going to be taking a bunch of damage. It's going to be going down in a couple of moments. With the Cyclone locking onto the Phoenix there over on the side. Reasonable damage being done. Oh, just gonna see a Marines and Cyclone stepping up. The Adepts taking some shots there, getting pushed back the other way. So it's gonna come straight through. Just gonna be seeing again a couple more hits coming about. Damage still being done as we continue to see the Phoenix coming over. And we'll try and attack forward here. Adept taking some more damage. Super Battery gonna turn onto it. A little bit more damage being done as well. Mine fires, just lifts it back up into the Medevac though. Again, the rest of those Phoenix gathering around. Siege Tank's about to finish. Stimpack's still coming through. A couple of additional supply depots on the way from Clem as we get one more Stalker added on as well. It's very rare Clem attacks a natural expansion. This battery lives to tell the tale, but apparently today's one of those days. I love that Widowmine, by the way. Just burrows next to the tank. Low HP, but kind of forces you to commit onto it if you want to get rid of it. Or if you commit onto the tank, you're going to take the Widowmine shot. Nice that he kept that alive from earlier and still just has it here. Now we are in range of the batteries with the tank. Well, what are we going to do as MaxPax? Second Immortal on the way. About to pop. I actually think MaxPax has more than enough DPS to chew through this. Going to see the Phoenix. Going to avoid the Widowmine for the moment. Stalker will split to the side. Good micro still. The power of the 2 Immortals is huge. Plus the Phoenix for the cleanup factor. And Clem gets shut down on this attack. And MaxPax out onto the map here on Amphion. And looking good in Game 3. Looking to try and take this series by the horns and steer it into his favor. He is still pushing. He's coming across the other side. I mean, the thing is with the Phoenix, you can nullify some of the initial kind of 1 or 2 units of defense and, like, you know, lift up a tank or so. In this case, there's actually enough Viking Marine to turn the Phoenix around. So I don't think MaxPax will go any further right now, but I don't hate him for trying, because if there was just one tank there, if there wasn't enough anti-air, you lift up that tank, your ground army can go a long way still. So I like the idea that MaxPax got him across the map to try. And I still think he's coming out of this in a good position. Yeah, the third base from him is pretty late. He's been playing 2 bases this whole time. But he's now going to be up on Colossus. I guess also he's going to be without a Twilight and a Forge. There's actually a lot of things MaxPax is missing, but Clem is not exactly in the prettiest spot either. 3 racks, Factor A, Starport, 4th and 5th racks coming through, only just finishing add-ons. He's away off combat shields, he's away off a +1 upgrade. There's a lot that Clem could do with to really reach full power here. So it's not like Clem is kind of coming out and his bio army is ready to just go straight back across the map or anything like that. Vikings coming through, just going to be seeing our extended thermal lance halfway done. A couple of Vikings more from Clem coming up. The Marines coming through, +1 attack and combat shield building as well. Reactor of Clem, a couple of tech labs building for the moment. Vikings still moving, have the observer overhead. Single Stalker, just nibble at the Viking. Tanks are going to siege. The bio now going to go a step toward the rocks. Obviously, this is a pathway straight directly to the 3rd base. The Vikings are going to turn around, try and chase the Phoenix. They get out of there without taking losses. Clem is going to have access toward that 3rd base, and it's all because MaxPax's army is not really in position to deal with this. He's going to have to run into the tanks. The Vikings are going to go straight onto that Colossus. That's going to get pushed away, and MaxPax is going to be in some trouble here. Army supply is not really matching at the moment. Well, Bio just dives straight onto the 3rd base. Now going to get Stalkers, now going to get Probes. MaxPax tried to launch an attack onto the natural with the Phoenix, and the Stalkers now coming over here as well. Clem's going to realize that. He's going to turn around with these units, although maybe a little late. He will lose the siege tank, he will lose these units, but obviously the damage he's doing on the other side is insane. There's no reason he shouldn't kill the 3rd base. If that's what he decides to do, he might just go onto the natural instead. SCV is still taking damage. The orbital command flying through. 6, 7 SCVs going down. Make it 8. +1 attack is still about to be done from Clem, so you'll have that bonus for himself as well. Actually, not that much of a bonus. MaxPax's own +1 is not far away. And about to have Blink. MaxPax supply blocked, reinforcements halted. Pylon and Nexus away off in the production tab. We're going to try and dive onto a tank here. That costs you multiple Stalkers. That felt like a moment for MaxPax, but obviously the moment wasn't really there. We could have seen that. We do get to see that, and we see the repercussions of him committing to it, so. Yo, Marsbar, thank you so much for the 47-month resub on the Prime. Welcome back, as we're just going to have our Marines getting underneath these Phoenix. You know what, we're going to clean up this army, but was it worth it? That was so expensive. Multiple Phoenix going down. So many Phoenix dropping. Wow. Why was Blink so late? Because the way he opened with the Robo, he played the 2 Immortals against the pressure of Clem, so the Twilight Council came in very, very slowly. As the Bio is going to chase, the Vikings are going to continue through. So yeah, it was just dealing with the kind of the attack on the natural at first. Meant that the Blink was not there for a very long time. It was, to me, the only thing that was really bad for MaxPax, because I felt like the rest of the initial defense was fine. It was really the position, I think, that threw him into trouble here. Having to attack into those tanks, dealing with the Clem push up the left side is something he just could not get set up to do. Now Clem's supply is obviously absolutely, you know, ludicrously ahead. 76 to 39 army supply. And Clem kicks out a battery here, going to turn around, go after some of these Stalkers. The siege tank just fell. MaxPax will have to type GG, and we are going to have ourselves Clem up onto match point in this grand final. A 2-1 lead. And obviously certain regions would still benefit from region locking, but I really honestly think it would just be best to let everyone fight and just see who the best players in the world are. Let them play. Top right hand side, down a map. As it felt like that first defense went well for him, but just couldn't stabilize back in the game afterward. The red Protoss player here in this best of 5. Game number 4 here on our signee. It's MaxPax, and he's got a quick probe across the map. Maybe time for a second pylon over there, and a quick cheeky little extra gateway to put some pressure on early against the Terran opponent in the bottom left-hand corner. The blue Terran from Team Liquid, your world champion. It is Clem. It'll be our last map of the day. It is our last series of the day, guys. I was talking about maybe doing some of the extra series from replays. I actually think I'd rather probably going to wrap it up, do a little bit of been doing admin work and getting caught up and stuff today, so I think I'll probably go back and just finish up a bit of that, actually. Because we do have another, I was going to have, tomorrow was going to be my day off, actually. But, yeah, my day off is no longer a day off because of the event that came around, so I think we'll probably not extend today for the sake of extending it. But yeah, we'll cast the rest of this, and then I suppose get excited for the rest of the week. Like I said, great matches coming up all week long. We're live every single day. StarCraft 2 will be non-stopping. So yeah, we're here every single day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then Monday next week as well is guaranteed, because obviously WardiTV Mondays just got extended throughout October. So we'll be here for the next 7 days at the very least. And maybe then, maybe next Tuesday I'll have a day off. What does my schedule say? My schedule says maybe. Yeah, probably seems like a reasonable plan. SCV coming through, just gonna be having Zeld coming across as well, trying to see what's going on. Was that gateway across the map here from MaxPax, so did get that going. It's actually just a single gateway, so the MaxPax, you build a gate across the map, you expand behind it. This was the build that got named the MaxPax. You don't really mention it so much anymore. Gonna have Zealots are gonna be fighting. Coming up here, it's gonna be seeing a couple of Zealots firing away, Reactor taking damage. Marine is gonna go fight against those Zealots. A couple of SCVs are pairing up, and the Stalker of MaxPax continues on through. A few more Marines popping out as well. Zealot's very serious about trying to break through that, but not quite going to be able to yet, as our Stalker will take some damage. We pull one Marine away, the other Marine's still firing it up. And going down, Zealots and the Stalker still push back. I think this is going to settle down here pretty quickly. Did Clem see the gateway? Nope, he did not see it. Sorry, I missed how close this scout was from Clem. Apologies. So he did not get the information on that. He did not spot the gateway itself. I don't know if he spotted the probe nearby or something. Sorry, I was reading chat and talking about things and not paying attention, as I should have been. As our Cyclone and Marine's going to step up here. They're going to lock onto the Zealots. The Zealots get turned around a little bit. Stalker taking some shots still. Zealots still taking some additional hits. This is not working out for MaxPax. Now you're going to start losing a lot of units. Clem has been so good with the Cyclone Micro lately. He wants to get the lock on, but he doesn't want to lose the Cyclone. He's not going to finish off that final Stalker, unfortunately, but a pretty darn decent attempt. As you do see two more Marines, the Medevac coming across, SCV building up from Clem on the natural, and the Cyclone coming back over. It's going to throw a lock on out, and the Stalker's going to take some shots. Stalker's going to turn fire onto the Cyclone a little bit. Cyclone will be going down, so that Cyclone will get cleaned up. Another Stalker popping out, clearing that out as well. We do just have ourselves the Prism and the Warp Gate coming through. Marines and the Cyclone coming forward once more. That Stalker got to run. Goes down. As for that gateway, it's really nice, obviously. That shuts down production. Now we only have 2 gates instead of 3. But I'm just going to make sure he kills it off as well. He would love to just make sure that this is not going to be repowered again at some later point. Let's just kill it off now. He's in no rush to go across the map, it seems. There's a Prism coming his way, so he'll have to be in position to deal with this. That is an opportunity now for MaxPax to maybe come through and to see some success. So, potential right there for something to come about. Stalker's going to hit those SCVs. Well, SCV's just going down. Marine taking some damage as well. Let's see that Stimpack coming through as the rest of the Marines continue over. Prism is just going to get shoved away on the side. Cyclone coming back across. Gonna see that Prism, just gonna see our Stalker hanging about, just gonna see the rest of the Stalkers coming through. Prism loads, gonna be sending this in toward the main base. He's going to have a Twilight Council now Forge still coming through. The Nexus is coming down here from MaxPax as well. These two Stalkers coming by. A couple of SCVs dropping immediately. Marines on the side actually going to go for the Prism. Damage done. Cyclone should have a lock on there. Doesn't even need the lock on, as we can lift up that Cyclone and save it as well. Now these Stalkers are stuck in this main base. No blink, because this was a robo-based tech. Twilight Council's online, but not being used just yet. We're going to push into the natural with the Stalker and the Mortal that remain on the low ground, while the Stalkers in the main try and make this as busy as possible. Kill one more, one will recall away. Actually kill 5 SCVs in total here, but MaxPax, he paid a price for it. Look at the resources lost. 400 gas to, well, it was 0 until just now. But resources lost across the board is heavily in favor of Clem, who now just cleaned up that Stalker and the Immortal as well, so that's going to add to that. So, I mean, probably should have shut that down while we're watching this. So we've seen that bio coming across, past the Watchtower. And the Immortal +1 charge all continuing through. Corona boosting along. And now this Bioforce about to come up this ramp. I mean, Clem has Stim, he has Combat Shield. MaxPax doesn't really have anything, not even a battery online. GG's, and Clem is going to go back-to-back in WardiTV Mondays. He's going to win last week's, he's going to win this week's. MaxPax can't quite force a game 5.